What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Tempus TV and welcome to another video from my lovely studio, aka my balcony. We're almost back to full health and then I'll be able to get back on the bike and get out and get you guys some more footage of things actually around here in Pattaya. But in the meantime, I'm gonna break down I didn't really count, maybe 5 or 6 things that if you're planning on coming to Pattaya, these are things you need to be ready for and you might not have heard of so far. So without further ado, let's get into it. So obviously, if you're traveling overseas, it's a good idea to get some research in on where you're going, especially if you've never been there before. Obviously, there's going to be things that you're not ready for when you land. You can never prepare for everything, but there's always a way to get a leg up and make your stay a little bit more comfortable so you don't have that weird interim period for the first few weeks when you're figuring everything out, like I did. So first things first, I say obviously, but this might not be obvious to you. It wasn't to me. When I got here, I kind of underestimated everything and thought that I had enough experience in this already that I wouldn't really have to deal with it as much. But that first thing is, it is hot here. Okay, so I was living in Phoenix, Arizona in the United States. If you know anything about Phoenix, it's in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. Hits 120 degrees Fahrenheit in the summers, and I've been growing up in weather like that pretty much my whole life. So I was like, oh, well, I've been hot before. I had heard that Thailand was hot, but I had no idea. I'd never been to Southeast Asia before. It doesn't get quite that high temperature-wise, but the humidity is the killer. Obviously, there's not very much wind here. You're pretty close to the equator. As the wind picks up, it is nice this time of year. It's a little bit cooler for sure, but prepare to be sweaty, prepare to be hot. So bring clothes accordingly, bring some shorts. I love dry fit stuff like the workout shirts and things like that. Those tend to breathe really well, but cotton and jeans are for sure your enemy. So make sure you're packing that you can be comfortable. You don't want to show up and then have to go out and buy all new clothes because you are miserable. And if you're the type of person who likes to just kind of walk around and explore, just be ready for that. Take some water with you and be ready to sweat a little bit. Another one that I personally didn't really prepare for that well was transportation. So if you're in any of the main hubs, Bangkok, Phuket, Pattaya, even Chang Mai, there is pretty good public transportation. But the ways to access this was something that I didn't really look into that much, which was a mistake on my part. But especially here in Pattaya, Bangkok is a little bit different. Bangkok, you've got the SkyTrain and things like that, which are super convenient with all the traffic in Bangkok. But here in Pattaya, traffic's not as bad, but everything is a little bit more spread out. So it's a good idea to download either the Bolt or Grab apps. Those are 2 taxi apps that are very popular here in Thailand. You can almost always find a ride. Put some money aside for taxis and things like that. But the big one that not a lot of people seem to talk about that's super good to utilize if you're not ready for it is the Bot Bus. It's these little pickup trucks with seats in the bed. It's 10 baht for a ride. They go all over Pattaya. It can be a little bit hard to find a map online, but there are lots of forums and stuff you can check out that'll let you know. They'll go down both beach roads in Pattaya and Jomtien. There's one that runs from Jomtien to Pattaya, and then they run up and down Second Road, Beach Road. They do a big loop in Pattaya, so it's pretty easy to get around. Generally, you can use these guys for a taxi as well if you want to tell them where you're going, but if you do that, the cost is going to be more than 10 baht. Essentially, at that point, you're hiring them as a private taxi, so the price is going to be a lot different. Side note, a lot of these are going to be things that I did or didn't do, so I'm generally speaking from experience. But another one that I've seen a lot of people kind of fumble on is food. Obviously, when you're coming here, Thai food is great, but if there's certain things or you've got certain dietary needs that are super specific, it's a good idea to go online, look up some Thai dishes and be comfortable and learn how to say them and how to order them how you like and get an idea of what you're getting into before you get here. This will also help you with your budget so you can have a better idea if you're going to be eating mostly Thai food, if you're going to eat Western food to kind of even everything out. But there are lots of Thai dishes that you might not be comfortable with the ingredients. If you're a vegetarian, anything like that, if you don't eat pork, things like that, they can all make it a little bit harder to get around. So I would say go ahead and jump online, do some research, look up some traditional Thai dishes or things that are sold on the street food markets pretty frequently, and just make sure that these are things that you're going to be able to eat or that you're going to enjoy eating, so you don't get here and then feel like you just have to live off pizza all the time because you don't know where to go, you don't really know what you're ordering, and you're afraid you're going to get something that you might not like or you're not allowed to eat for your own reasons. Another big one that I see happen a lot, it did happen to me when I got here as well, is trusting certain apps or sites and things without going and looking at reviews, especially before you get here. So I tell everybody, you know, if you're planning on coming here, especially if you're going to do an extended stay like longer than a month or anything like that, I would be super hesitant to go online and book an apartment for that whole time or sign any leases or anything. I don't think you should sign any paperwork until you get here. I think it's a much better idea to get here, book a few weeks through an Airbnb or something like that, and then go and find your condo, because things can be a lot different, locations can be a lot different. It's really hard to get on Google Maps and really see where things are. There's tons of stuff that's not listed. There's things that are listed that aren't there anymore, especially after COVID. So I think it's a much better idea. Book an Airbnb for a week or two, get here, and then you'll have an idea to go around the city and have a much better idea where you want to stay. If you're first getting here, you're probably gonna wanna stay in central Pattaya, but then once you're there, you're like, man, I'm not crazy about the traffic. It is super loud at night, whatever it may be. And then you're not stuck into a lease at a place that you don't wanna be. As always, guys, if you would like to support the channel, best way to do that is go down and drop a subscribe. If you would like to continue to stay updated on Thailand news, things, tips and tricks, where to go, how to get there, all that stuff, the best way to do that is just go down, drop a subscribe, like on the video. That way you get updated every time I upload a new video. I upload every single day, short form and long form content, and I do live streams as well every Tuesday night and every Friday morning. So if you're in the States, you would flip that and reverse it. It would be Tuesday morning for you and Friday night. Thank you so much. Another one that I think is great, especially if you're coming to Pattaya, it's really easy to get stuck in Pattaya, you know, and find people from your home country and then kind of do the same things that you were doing at home. But I'll go out on a limb here and say that you're probably not coming all the way to Thailand to do the same thing you're doing in your home country. So another big piece of advice that I would have is to just do your best to get out of town. Try to meet some more local Thai people. Try to make some Thai friends. It's super easy. Most of them are super accommodating, or like love to hang out with foreigners, practice their English, show you around. Thais are very proud people when it comes to their country, so they love to show you some stuff, especially if you've got hobbies and you can find some Thai people doing the same thing. But try not to get just stuck in Pattaya, and this could go for Bangkok, Phuket, anywhere. Try to get out a little bit and try to see some more of the country itself. You don't even necessarily have to go to a different province, but you'd be amazed at how much it changes, even in Pattaya and Jomtien, as soon as you head over the railroad tracks and go to the real side of town, not the beach side where all the condos and the high rises are. So I would definitely recommend doing your best to get out a little bit and try to make some Thai friends. Now, if you're planning on coming to Thailand, I'm sure you've heard plenty that you can barter for things. Not everything is a set price. And while that's absolutely true, there is a certain etiquette and a certain way to go about it. Obviously, there's certain things that you can't barter for when you go to like 7-Eleven, grocery stores, things like that. All those prices are set. But 9 times out of 10, if it's an actual vendor, the prices are negotiable. As a general rule for me, I don't negotiate for food or anything like that. Street food and stuff is already so cheap, there's really no need for it. But if you're going out and you want to do like some clothes shopping or something, you want to hit one of the fake markets and like buy some designer stuff, there is a proper way to go about bartering, and it's generally, if say you're looking at a bag or something, the guy says 2,000 baht, a good counter is to come back at half price of that. So if he says 2,000, come down to 1,000. If you've ever bartered before, you know you're ready to pay a little bit more than that. But I wouldn't go any lower than half price. It's almost insulting if he says 2,000 baht and you say 500. Obviously, they're gonna try to make some money. You're gonna try to save some money. And 9 times out of 10, there is somewhere you guys can meet in the middle. Just try to be cordial about it. And don't get mad if you guys can't agree on a price. That's totally fine. I do it all the time. Just say thank you, go on your way, and just look for another spot. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Tempus TV. If you're an expat here in Thailand and you can think of some more tips, whether it be for Pattaya, Bangkok, Phuket, you name it. If you got some more tips that you can think of that could help anybody out, feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you're watching this video and there's anything that you're wondering about, feel free to do the same. And like we said earlier, if you want to support the channel, best way to do that, like the video, subscribe, and share with a friend. As always, I hope you had a great day. I'll see you in the next one.